Hello everyone, welcome to Easy English for Everyone. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, like and share to receive the latest videos. Now let's study together.
Hi everyone. Today, we will practice listening and speaking skills with fruit shop topic. This story will take you on a fun journey to a fruit shop filled with colorful and delicious fruits. Along the way, we will learn about healthy eating, different types of fruits, and the joy of shopping for fresh food. Chapter 1. A bright morning in Sunnyvale. In the small, cheerful town of Sunnyvale, every morning was a new adventure. The sun would rise early, casting a warm, golden glow over the sleepy streets. Birds would chirp merrily, and the scent of fresh flowers would fill the air. It was a place where everyone knew everyone, and life moved at a gentle, easy pace. At the heart of Sunnyvale stood a quaint little fruit shop, tucked away on a quiet corner of Main Street. The shop, called Sunny Fruits, was a beloved fixture in the community. Sunny Fruits was owned by a kind-hearted man named Mr. Johnson, but everyone in town simply called him Mr. J. Mr. J had inherited the shop from his father, who had inherited it from his father before him. Its wooden sign, painted in bright yellow and green, swayed gently in the morning breeze, inviting passers-by to step inside and discover the wonders within. For generations, the Johnson family had been dedicated to providing the freshest and most delicious fruits to the people of Sunnyvale. Mr. J was a tall, lanky man with a warm smile and a friendly demeanor. His eyes sparkled with a twinkle of mischief, and his laugh was as infectious as the sun's rays. He was always eager to chat with his customers, sharing stories and anecdotes about the fruits he sold. Whether it was the juicy apples from the nearby orchards or the exotic mangoes from far-off lands, Mr. J had a story for everything. The shop itself was a cozy, inviting space. The walls were painted a soft, pastel green, and the shelves were lined with an array of colorful fruits. The air was filled with the sweet aroma of ripe peaches, fresh berries, and crisp apples. A large wooden counter ran along one side of the shop, where Mr. J would often be found arranging the fruits or chatting with customers. Every morning, Mr. J would open the shop's doors with a sense of excitement and anticipation. He knew that each day brought new opportunities to connect with his community and share the joy of fresh, delicious fruits. The first customers to arrive were often the local school children, who would stop by to buy a quick snack before heading to class. As the day progressed, the shop would fill with a steady stream of regulars and newcomers. Some came for the fruits, while others came for the company. Mr. J's shop was more than just a place to buy food. It was a hub of community and warmth. One particular morning, as the sun began to rise over Sunnyvale, Mr. J was already hard at work. He had received a new shipment of fruits overnight, and he was eager to display them in the shop. He carefully arranged the fruits, making sure each one was in its perfect place. The apples were stacked in neat rows, the bananas hung from a hook, and the berries were nestled in small, decorative baskets. As he worked, Mr. J couldn't help but feel a sense of pride. This shop had been his family's legacy for generations, and he was determined to keep the tradition alive. He knew that Sunny Fruits wasn't just a business. It was a part of the town's heart and soul. Just as Mr. J was putting the finishing touches on the display, he heard the familiar jingle of the shop's bell. He turned to see a young boy, no more than 7 years old, standing at the door. The boy's eyes were wide with wonder, taking in the colorful array of fruits before him. "Good morning, young man." Mr. J greeted him with a warm smile. "Can I help you find something today?" The boy, whose name was Timmy, nodded eagerly. "I want to buy some fruits for my mom's birthday," he said, his voice filled with excitement. Mr. J's heart warmed at the thought of a child wanting to do something special for his mother. "Well, you're in the right place, Timmy. What kind of fruits does your mom like?" Timmy's eyes lit up. "She loves strawberries and bananas." "Perfect," Mr. J said, leading the boy to the strawberry display. These strawberries are just perfect for a special occasion. They're sweet and juicy, and they look like little red hearts. Timmy's eyes widened as he reached out to touch the strawberries. "They're so pretty," he exclaimed. Mr. J chuckled. "They sure are. And I think your mom will love them even more when she sees how much you care." As Mr. J helped Timmy pick out the fruits, he couldn't help but feel a sense of joy. This was what Sunny Fruits was all about, bringing people together and making their days a little brighter. And as the day went on, more and more customers would come through the door, each one adding to the vibrant tapestry of life in Sunnyvale. Chapter 2. Meet the Friendly Neighbor. As the morning sun continued to shine over Sunnyvale, the streets began to buzz with activity. People were out and about, going about their daily routines. Some were heading to work, while others were running errands or simply enjoying a leisurely stroll. Among the familiar faces that passed by Sunny Fruits was a woman named Mrs. Green, a kind and friendly neighbor who lived just a few houses down from the shop. Mrs. Green was a short, plump woman with a round face and a warm, inviting smile. Her hair, a mix of silver and gray, was always neatly tied back in a bun, and she wore a simple, floral dress that seemed to match the cheerful atmosphere of the town. She was known for her gardening skills, and her front yard was always a riot of colors, filled with blooming flowers and lush greenery. Every morning, Mrs. Green would stop by Sunny Fruits to pick up a few fruits for her family. She had a particular fondness for the shop, not just for the quality of the fruits, but for the friendly and welcoming atmosphere that Mr. J created. Every morning, Mrs. Green would stop by Sunny Fruits to pick up a few fruits for her family. She had a particular fondness for the shop, not just for the quality of the fruits, but for the friendly and welcoming atmosphere that Mr. J created. To her, Sunny Fruits was more than just a place to buy groceries. It was a place to catch up with friends and neighbors. On this particular morning, Mrs. Green entered the shop with a spring in her step. She waved at Mr. J, who was busy arranging a new batch of oranges on the counter. "Good morning, Mr. J," she called out, her voice cheerful and bright. "Good morning, Mrs. Green," Mr. J replied, pausing his work to greet her. "What can I get for you today?" Mrs. Green walked up to the counter, her eyes scanning the colorful display. "I think I'll take a bag of these oranges," she said, pointing to the bright, juicy oranges. "And maybe a few apples for my husband's lunch." Mr. J nodded and began to carefully select the fruits. "These oranges are from the local orchard," he explained. "They're sweet and full of flavor, and the apples are perfect for a healthy snack." As Mr. J bagged the fruits, Mrs. Green took a moment to chat. "How's the shop been this morning?" she asked, her eyes twinkling with curiosity. Mr. J smiled. "It's been busy, but in the best way possible. We had a new shipment of fruits overnight, and the customers are loving them. I even had a young boy come in to buy fruits for his mom's birthday. It's always heartwarming to see the community come together like this." Mrs. Green nodded, her smile growing wider. "That's wonderful to hear. I always feel like I'm part of a big family when I come here." Mr. J's eyes lit up. "No, I haven't. What's happening? And speaking of family, have you heard about the town fair coming up next weekend?" Mr. J's eyes lit up. "No, I haven't. What's happening?" Mrs. Green leaned in, her voice lowering to a conspiratorial whisper. "The town council is organizing a big fair to celebrate the harvest season. There will be games, music, and of course, plenty of delicious food. I heard they're even planning a fruit tasting contest, and I think Sunny Fruits should enter." Mr. J chuckled, his eyes sparkling with excitement. "That sounds like a fantastic idea. I've always wanted to show off our fruits to a wider audience. What do you think, Mrs. Green? Should we do it?" Mrs. Green clapped her hands, her face beaming with enthusiasm. "Absolutely. It would be a great way to bring the community together and have some fun. And who knows? We might even win a prize." Mr. J laughed, feeling a surge of energy at the thought of participating in the fair. "It's settled then. We'll start preparing right away. Thank you for the idea, Mrs. Green. You always know how to brighten my day." Mrs. Green smiled, feeling a sense of satisfaction. "It's my pleasure, Mr. J. I'll spread the word and get everyone excited about the fair. And don't worry, I'll be your biggest cheerleader." With the fruits in hand, Mrs. Green bid Mr. J a fond farewell and headed out of the shop. As she walked down the street, she couldn't help but feel a sense of pride in her community. Sunny Fruits was more than just a shop. It was a symbol of the warmth and camaraderie that defined Sunnyvale. Back inside the shop, Mr. J continued to arrange the fruits, his mind racing with ideas for the upcoming fair. He knew that this would be a great opportunity to not only showcase the quality of his fruits, but also to bring the community even closer together. Back inside the shop, Mr. J continued to arrange the fruits, his mind racing with ideas for the upcoming fair. He knew that this would be a great opportunity to not only showcase the quality of his fruits, but also to bring the community even closer together. And as he worked, he couldn't help but feel a sense of gratitude for the friends and neighbors who made Sunnyvale such a special place to live. Chapter 3: The Curious Customer. As the morning wore on, the steady stream of customers continued to flow into Sunny Fruits. Each one brought a new story, a new smile, and a new opportunity for Mr. J to share his love for fruits. Among the regulars who visited the shop was a curious and inquisitive young woman named Lily. Lily was a recent transplant to Sunnyvale, having moved to the town just a few months ago to start a new job at the local library. She was a tall, slender woman with long, curly brown hair and bright, curious eyes that seemed to take in everything around her. Lily had quickly grown to love Sunnyvale, with its friendly people and charming streets. One of her favorite places in town was Sunny Fruits, where she would often stop by to pick up a quick snack or to simply chat with Mr. J. She found the shop to be a source of both comfort and adventure, and she always left feeling a little more connected to the community. On this particular morning, Lily entered the shop with a sense of excitement. She had heard from Mrs. Green about the upcoming town fair and was eager to learn more. As she stepped inside, the familiar scent of fresh fruits greeted her, and she couldn't help but smile. "Good morning, Mr. J," she called out, her voice warm and friendly. "Good morning, Lily," Mr. J replied, looking up from his work. "How can I help you today?" Lily walked up to the counter, her eyes scanning the colorful display. "I was wondering if you could tell me more about the town fair," she said, her curiosity evident. "I heard it's coming up next weekend, and I'm really excited to check it out." Mr. J's eyes lit up at the mention of the fair. "Oh, the town fair. It's going to be a fantastic event. The town council is organizing it to celebrate the harvest season, and there will be all sorts of activities. There will be games, music, and of course, plenty of delicious food. And we're even planning to enter a fruit tasting contest." Lily's eyes widened with excitement. "A fruit tasting contest? That sounds amazing. I've never been to anything like that before. What kind of fruits will you be showcasing?" Mr. J smiled, feeling a sense of pride. "We have a wide variety of fruits, from the local orchards to some more exotic ones. We'll have apples, oranges, strawberries, and even some tropical fruits like mangoes and pineapples. I think it's going to be a real treat for everyone." Lily nodded, her curiosity piqued. "That sounds wonderful. I can't wait to try them all. But tell me, Mr. J, what's your favorite fruit?" Mr. J chuckled, thinking for a moment. "That's a tough question. I love all kinds of fruits, but if I had to choose, I think I'd have to say strawberries. They're sweet, juicy, and they always remind me of sunny summer days. What about you, Lily? What's your favorite fruit?" Lily thought for a moment, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "I think I'd have to say blueberries. They're so small and sweet, and they're always so refreshing. I love adding them to my morning cereal or eating them as a snack. Mr. J nodded, his smile growing wider. Blueberries are a great choice. They're not only delicious, but also packed with nutrients. I think you'll enjoy the fruit tasting contest even more. And who knows? Maybe you'll discover a new favorite fruit. Lily laughed, feeling a sense of anticipation. I hope so. I can't wait to see what you have in store. But for now, I think I'll take a bag of those strawberries you mentioned. They look perfect for a picnic in the park. Mr. J nodded and began to carefully select the strawberries. These strawberries are from the local orchard, just like I told Mrs. Green. They're sweet and full of flavor. I think your picnic is going to be a hit. As Mr. J bagged the strawberries, Lily took a moment to chat. Thank you, Mr. J. You always know how to make my day better. I really appreciate the warmth and friendliness of this town. It's been such a nice change from the big city where I used to live. Mr. J smiled, feeling a sense of satisfaction. We're glad to have you here, Lily. Sunnyvale is a special place, and we're always happy to welcome new faces. And if you ever need anything, just let us know. We're all in this together. Lily nodded, feeling a sense of belonging. Thank you, Mr. J. I'll definitely keep that in mind. And I'll be sure to tell everyone about the town fair. It sounds like it's going to be a great event. With the strawberries in hand, Lily bid Mr. J a fond farewell and headed out of the shop. As she walked down the street, she couldn't help but feel a sense of excitement. The town fair was just around the corner, and she was looking forward to experiencing all the fun and festivities. And as she walked, she couldn't help but think about how lucky she was to have found such a welcoming community in Sunnyvale. Back inside the shop, Mr. J continued to arrange the fruits, his mind racing with ideas for the upcoming fair. He knew that this would be a great opportunity to not only showcase the quality of his fruits, but also to bring the community even closer together. And as he worked, he couldn't help but feel a sense of gratitude for the friends and neighbors who made Sunnyvale such a special place to live. Chapter 4: A Day of Preparation. As the sun began to set over Sunnyvale, the town took on a peaceful, golden hue. The streets were quieter, and the pace of life slowed down. In the cozy little shop of Sunny Fruits, Mr. J was hard at work preparing for the upcoming town fair. The fair was just a few days away, and he was determined to make it a memorable event for everyone in the community. The day had been busy, with a steady stream of customers coming and going. Mr. J had sold a variety of fruits, from the sweet strawberries that Lily had bought to the juicy oranges that Mrs. Green had taken home. Now, as the shop began to wind down, Mr. J turned his attention to the preparations for the fair. He started by selecting the best fruits for the fruit tasting contest. He carefully chose the ripest and most flavorful apples, oranges, strawberries, and even some exotic fruits like mangoes and pineapples. Each fruit was inspected for quality, and Mr. J made sure to pick only the best for the contest. As he worked, Mr. J couldn't help but feel a sense of excitement. The town fair was a big deal in Sunnyvale, and he wanted to make sure that Sunny Fruits was well represented. He knew that the contest would be a great opportunity to showcase the quality of his fruits and to bring the community together. After selecting the fruits, Mr. J began to arrange them in decorative baskets. He used colorful ribbons and small, decorative flowers to make the baskets look festive and inviting. He also wrote out small cards for each fruit, describing its flavor and where it came from. He wanted to make sure that everyone who tried the fruits would appreciate their unique qualities. As he worked, Mr. J's mind wandered to the other activities that would be happening at the fair. He knew that there would be games, music, and food stalls, and he was excited to see what the town council had planned. He also thought about the other businesses in Sunnyvale and how they would be contributing to the event. He hoped that the fair would be a success and that it would bring the community even closer together. Just as Mr. J was finishing up the preparations, the shop's bell jingled, and in walked a familiar face, Timmy, the young boy who had come in earlier to buy fruits for his mom's birthday. Timmy's eyes lit up as he saw the colorful baskets and the array of fruits. "Hi, Mr. J," Timmy called out, his voice filled with excitement. "What are you doing?" Mr. J smiled, feeling a sense of warmth. Timmy's eyes widened with excitement. "Yes, please. I'd love to help." "Hi, Timmy. I'm getting ready for the town fair. We're going to have a fruit tasting contest, and I'm preparing the best fruits for it. Would you like to help?" Timmy's eyes widened with excitement. "Yes, please. I'd love to help." Mr. J chuckled, feeling a sense of joy. "Great. You can help me label the fruits and decorate the baskets. It'll be fun, and you'll get to see all the different kinds of fruits we have." Timmy nodded eagerly and got to work. He helped Mr. J write out the labels and tie the ribbons, his small hands working diligently. As they worked, Mr. J told Timmy more about the fair and the different activities that would be happening. "Are you going to the fair, Timmy?" Mr. J asked, his eyes twinkling with curiosity. Timmy nodded, his face beaming with excitement. "Yes, I am. My mom said we can go, and we can play games and eat yummy food. And I can't wait to try the fruits you're going to have in the contest." Mr. J laughed, feeling a sense of pride. "I'm sure you'll love it, Timmy. And who knows, you might even win a prize in the fruit tasting contest." Timmy's eyes sparkled with excitement. "That would be amazing. I'll do my best to taste all the fruits and pick my favorite." As they finished the preparations, Mr. J couldn't help but feel a sense of satisfaction. The baskets were now filled with the best fruits, and they looked beautiful and inviting. He knew that the fair would be a success, and he was excited to see the community come together to celebrate the harvest season. With the preparations complete, Mr. J and Timmy stepped back to admire their work. "Thank you for helping, Timmy," Mr. J said, his voice warm and appreciative. "You did a great job, and I'm sure the baskets will be a hit at the fair." Timmy beamed with pride. "I'm glad I could help, Mr. J. I can't wait for the fair to start." Mr. J nodded, feeling a sense of anticipation. "Me too, Timmy. Me too. And don't forget to tell your friends and family about the fair. The more people we can get to come, the better." Timmy nodded, his face filled with excitement. "I will, Mr. J. I'll tell everyone I know. See you at the fair." With a wave, Timmy headed out of the shop, his heart full of anticipation. As Mr. J watched him go, he couldn't help but feel a sense of gratitude for the community that had brought them all together. Sunny Fruits was more than just a shop. It was a symbol of the warmth and camaraderie that defined Sunnyville. Back inside the shop, Mr. J continued to work, his mind racing with ideas for the upcoming fair. He knew that this would be a great opportunity to not only showcase the quality of his fruits, but also to bring the community even closer together. And as he worked, he couldn't help but feel a sense of gratitude for the friends and neighbors who made Sunnyville such a special place to live. Chapter 5. The Town Fair begins. The day of the town fair finally arrived, and Sunnyville was buzzing with excitement. The sun shone brightly, casting a warm glow over the town, and the air was filled with the sounds of laughter and music. The main street was transformed into a vibrant festival ground, with colorful banners and decorations adorning every corner. Stalls and booths lined the street, each one offering a unique attraction, from games and crafts to delicious food and drinks. Mr. J and his team from Sunny Fruits arrived early in the morning to set up their booth. The booth was a large wooden structure with a bright green awning that read Sunny Fruits in bold yellow letters. Inside, the team had arranged the colorful baskets of fruits, each one carefully labeled and decorated with ribbons and flowers. The aroma of fresh, ripe fruits filled the air, drawing the attention of passers-by. As Mr. J and his team worked, they were joined by Timmy and his mother, who had come to help with the preparations. Timmy's eyes sparkled with excitement as he helped arrange the fruits and tie the ribbons. His mother, a kind and warm woman with a gentle smile, chatted with Mr. J about the fair and the community. "Thank you for having us, Mr. J," Timmy's mother said, her voice filled with gratitude. "Timmy has been so excited about the fair, and he's been talking about it nonstop." Mr. J smiled, feeling a sense of warmth. "It's our pleasure, Mrs. Thompson. We're glad to have you both here, and I'm sure Timmy will do a great job helping out today." Timmy beamed with pride, his face glowing with excitement. "I can't wait to see everyone try the fruits we've prepared." As the morning progressed, the fair began to come to life. People of all ages started to arrive, their faces filled with anticipation. Children ran around, playing games and enjoying the festive atmosphere, while adults mingled and caught up with friends and neighbors. The sound of music filled the air, and the smell of delicious food wafted from the food stalls. Mr. J and his team were busy preparing the fruits for the tasting contest. They had set up a table with a variety of fruits, each one carefully arranged and labeled. They had also prepared small tasting plates and napkins, making sure everything was ready for the contest. Just as they were finishing up, Mrs. Green arrived with a group of friends. She was carrying a large, colorful banner that read, "Sunny Fruits, your favorite fruits," in bold letters. She handed the banner to Mr. J, her eyes twinkling with excitement. "Here you go, Mr. J," she said, her voice filled with enthusiasm. "We made this banner to show our support for Sunny Fruits. We believe in you, and we're here to cheer you on." Mr. J's eyes widened with surprise and gratitude. Mrs. Green smiled, feeling a sense of satisfaction. "It's our pleasure, Mr. J. We all love Sunny Fruits, and we want to see you succeed. And don't worry, we'll be your biggest cheerleaders." With the banner in place, Mr. J and his team felt a surge of energy and excitement. The fair was officially underway, and the fruit tasting contest was about to begin. The judges, a group of local community members, arrived at the booth, their faces filled with curiosity and anticipation. Mr. J stepped forward, his voice clear and confident. "Welcome, everyone. We're excited to have you here for the fruit tasting contest. We've prepared a variety of the freshest and most delicious fruits, and we can't wait for you to try them. Each fruit has been carefully selected and labeled, and we hope you enjoy the flavors as much as we do." The judges nodded, their eyes scanning the colorful display. They each took a small plate and began to sample the fruits, their faces lighting up with delight. Mr. J and his team watched with bated breath, hoping that their fruits would impress the judges. As the tasting continued, the crowd around the booth grew. People were drawn in by the vibrant colors and the delicious aromas, and they began to sample the fruits as well. Timmy and his mother were busy explaining the different fruits and their origins, and the team from Sunny Fruits was working hard to keep everything organized and running smoothly. The judges finished their tasting and gathered to discuss their impressions. Mr. J and his team waited anxiously, their hearts pounding with anticipation. Finally, the head judge, a kind and respected member of the community, stepped forward and announced the results. "Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner," the judge declared, his voice filled with excitement. "The winner of the fruit tasting contest is Sunny Fruits." The crowd erupted in cheers and applause. Mr. J and his team were overjoyed, their faces beaming with pride. Timmy jumped up and down, his eyes shining with excitement, and his mother hugged him tightly, feeling a sense of accomplishment. Mr. J stepped forward, his voice filled with gratitude. "Thank you, everyone. This is a wonderful honor, and we couldn't have done it without the support of our community. We're so grateful to be a part of this amazing town, and we look forward to continuing to bring the best fruits to Sunnyvale." As the celebration continued, the team from Sunny Fruits was showered with congratulations and praise. People came up to them, shaking their hands and offering words of encouragement. The fair was a resounding success, and the community had come together in a spirit of joy and camaraderie. Mr. J looked around, his heart full of gratitude. Sunny Fruits was more than just a shop. It was a symbol of the warmth and friendship that defined Sunnyvale. And as the day went on, he knew that the memories of this fair would stay with him and the community for a long time to come. Chapter 6: A Heartwarming Surprise. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the town fair, the festivities continued to thrive. The music played on, and the laughter of children and adults alike filled the air. Mr. J and his team from Sunny Fruits were still basking in the joy of their victory in the fruit tasting contest. The colorful banners and decorations added to the festive atmosphere, and the aroma of fresh fruits and delicious food wafted through the air. Just as Mr. J was chatting with a group of customers, a familiar face appeared at the edge of the crowd. It was Lily, the curious and inquisitive young woman who had recently moved to Sunnyvale. She was carrying a small, wrapped gift and a big, bright smile. "Mr. J," Lily called out, her voice filled with excitement. "I have a surprise for you." Mr. J turned and saw her, his eyes twinkling with curiosity. "Lily, what a wonderful surprise. What do you have there?" Lily walked up to the booth, her face beaming with anticipation. "I wanted to give you this," she said, handing him the wrapped gift. "It's a small token of my appreciation for all the kindness and warmth you've shown me since I moved to Sunnyvale. You've made me feel so welcome, and I wanted to say thank you." Mr. J's eyes widened with surprise and gratitude. He carefully unwrapped the gift, revealing a beautifully crafted wooden plaque. The plaque was engraved with the words, "To Mr. J, for bringing sunshine to Sunnyvale," and was adorned with a small, colorful illustration of the Sunny Fruit sign. Mr. J's heart swelled with emotion. "Lily, this is incredible. I don't know what to say. You didn't have to do this, but it means so much to me." "Thank you." Lily smiled, feeling a sense of satisfaction. "You deserve it, Mr. J. You've brought so much joy to this community, and I wanted to show my appreciation. And besides, I couldn't think of a better way to celebrate your victory in the fruit tasting contest." Mr. J's eyes sparkled with pride. "Thank you, Lily. This is one of the best gifts I've ever received. I'll treasure it always." As they stood there, the crowd around the booth began to notice the exchange. People started to gather, curious about what was happening. Mrs. Green, Timmy, and his mother also joined in, their faces filled with warmth and curiosity. Mrs. Green stepped forward, her eyes twinkling with mischief. "What's going on here, Mr. J? What did Lily give you?" Mr. J held up the plaque, his voice filled with gratitude. "Lily gave me this beautiful plaque to thank me for all the kindness and warmth I've shown her since she moved to Sunnyvale. It's a wonderful way to celebrate our victory in the fruit tasting contest, and it means the world to me." The crowd erupted in applause, and people began to share stories of their own experiences with Sunny Fruits. One by one, they stepped forward to offer their congratulations and words of appreciation. A local farmer, Mr. Thompson, approached with a basket of fresh, homegrown vegetables. "Mr. J, you've always been a supporter of our local farmers," Mr. Thompson said, his voice filled with gratitude. "Here, take these vegetables as a small token of our appreciation. We're all so proud of you and Sunny Fruits." Mr. J's eyes widened with surprise. "Mr. Thompson, this is amazing. Thank you so much. I'll make sure to share these with everyone." A group of school children, led by their teacher, Miss Johnson, also approached the booth. They were holding a large, handmade banner that read, "Thank you, Mr. J," in bright, colorful letters. "Mr. J, we wanted to thank you for all the fruits you've given us over the years," Miss Johnson said, her voice filled with warmth. "You've made our days so much brighter, and we wanted to show our appreciation." Mr. J's heart swelled with emotion. "Thank you, Miss Johnson and all the children. This means so much to me. I'm honored to be a part of this community and to be able to bring a little sunshine to your days." As the celebrations continued, Mr. J and his team were overwhelmed with the outpouring of love and support. The fair had brought the community together in a way that was both heartwarming and inspiring. People were sharing stories, laughter, and kindness, and the spirit of camaraderie was palpable. Mr. J looked around, his heart full of gratitude. Sunny Fruits was more than just a shop. It was a symbol of the warmth and friendship that defined Sunnyvale. And as the day went on, he knew that the memories of this fair would stay with him and the community for a long time to come. As the sun set and the fair began to wind down, Mr. J and his team started to pack up the booth. The colorful banners and decorations were carefully folded, and the fruits were neatly arranged for the next day. His team was tired but happy, knowing that they had made a difference in the lives of the people in Sunnyvale. Mr. J turned to Timmy and his mother, his eyes filled with gratitude. "Thank you both for all your help today. You've been wonderful, and I couldn't have done it without you." Timmy's mother smiled, feeling a sense of accomplishment. "It was our pleasure, Mr. J. We're so glad to be a part of this community." And Timmy has had the time of his life. Timmy beamed with pride, his face glowing with excitement.